This is the second part of what happened to GTA Protagonist actors. Make sure to watch the first one, and today, we're gonna start with GTA 6 actors. The situation with Gregory Connors and Maniel Perez. Rockstar's been playing it smart with their voice actor choices lately. They're going for talented but relatively unknown actors, and there's a method to this madness. Gregory Connors, who's set to voice Jason, has been flying under the radar in the acting world. He's done some indie films and small TV roles, but nothing that would make headlines. This is perfect for Rockstar because it means Jason can truly become his own character, without the baggage of the actor's previous roles. Same deal with Maniel Perez, our voice for Lucia. She's been grinding in the industry, picking up minor roles here and there, but hasn't had that big breakthrough moment yet. Again, this works in Rockstar's favor. They can mold Lucia into whatever they want without worrying about fans associating her with other characters. This approach is a far cry from the early days of GTA when they'd bring in recognizable voices like Ray Liotta for Tommy Vercetti. Nowadays, Rockstar seems to prefer crafting their characters from the ground up, voice and all. It's a smart move, really. It keeps costs down, gives up-and-coming actors a shot at the big time, and lets the characters stand on their own merits. Plus, it adds to that whole mystique of the GTA universe. As for how this will affect Connors and Perez's careers post-GTA 6, well, if history's any indication, it could go either way. Some GTA voice actors have used it as a springboard to bigger things, while others have kind of faded back into obscurity. A lot will depend on how well received their performances are and how they leverage this opportunity. One thing's for sure though, once GTA 6 drops, these two are going to find themselves with a whole lot more name recognition, whether they're ready for it or not. In the end, Rockstar's strategy of picking low-profile actors for high-profile roles is a gamble, but one that's paid off for them so far. It'll be exciting to see how it plays out this time around with Connors and Perez at the helm. Alright, now let's talk about Michael Madsen's career after he lent his voice to Tony Cipriani in Grand Theft Auto 3 back in 2001. It's been quite a ride for our boy Madsen since then. After GTA 3, Madsen kept busy with a mix of big-budget flicks and indie films. He popped up in Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill movies, which were pretty huge. But he also started taking on a lot of straight-to-video roles. You know, the kind of movies you'd find in the bargain bin at your local video store, if those still existed. Madsen's always had this cool, tough guy vibe, and he's leaned into that hard. He's been in a ton of action movies and crime thrillers. Some were decent, others, not so much. But hey, the man's gotta eat, right? Now, if we're handing out grades, I'd say Madsen's post-GTA 3 career is sitting at a solid C. He's had some highs, like reuniting with Tarantino for The Hateful Eight in 2015. But he's also had a lot of forgettable roles in low-budget films. He's kept working consistently, which is more than a lot of actors can say. But he hasn't quite reached the heights you might have expected after voicing a character in one of the biggest video games of all time. But you know what? Madsen's still out there. Still acting, still being that cool, gravelly-voiced dude we all know and love. And in Hollywood, sometimes just sticking around is a win in itself. So here's to you, Michael Madsen. Keep doing your thing, man. We should also touch on Danny Mastrogiorgio, the voice behind Tony Cipriani in Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories. This dude had a decent thing going before he stepped into the world of virtual crime, and honestly, he pretty much kept that same energy afterward. Before GTA, Mastrogiorgio was grinding in the acting world, picking up roles here and there in TV shows and movies. Nothing that would make you go, wow, but steady work, you know? He was that guy you'd see pop up in an episode of Law & Order or some other crime drama and think, hey, I've seen that face before. After voicing Tony in Liberty City Stories, Mastrogiorgio just kept on keeping on. He didn't suddenly skyrocket to Hollywood stardom or anything, but he didn't fade into obscurity either. The man stayed in his lane, continuing to land supporting roles in various TV series and the occasional film. You might have caught him in shows like The Good Wife, Person of Interest, or Blue Bloods. He even had a recurring role in Gotham as Sal Maroni. Not too shabby, right? But again, we're not talking about any mind-blowing, career-defining performances here. To be honest, voicing Tony Cipriani was just another gig for Mastrogiorgio. It didn't catapult him to the A-list, but it didn't hurt his career either. He's maintained a steady presence in the industry, which in the cutthroat world of acting is actually pretty respectable. So, if we're handing out grades, I'd say Danny Mastrogiorgio's post-GTA career gets a solid C. He's been consistently working, showing up in recognizable shows, and generally doing all right for himself. Not setting the world on fire, but definitely not fizzling out either. Just a reliable actor, doing his thing, one role at a time. Moving on to Dorian Missick, the voice behind Victor Vance in Grand Theft Auto, Vice City Stories. This dude's career has been on a pretty interesting trajectory since he lent his pipes to the GTA universe. After VCS dropped in 2006, Missick's career actually picked up some serious steam. He started landing more prominent roles on TV, which is where he's really made his mark. He snagged recurring roles in shows like Southland and Damages, which helped boost his profile in the industry. But the real kicker came when he landed a main role in the sci-fi series The Cape in 2011. Sure, the show didn't last long, but it put Missick on the map as a leading man. He followed that up with solid performances in Southland and Altered Carbon, showing he could hang with the big dogs in both cop dramas and high-concept sci-fi. Missick's also been killing it in the streaming era. He had a meaty role in Luke Cage on Netflix, and more recently, he's been part of the main cast of For Life on ABC. That's not to mention his appearances in films like Annie and The Good Wife. When it comes to grading Missick's post-GTA career, I'd have to give the man a solid B+. He's consistently leveled up, moving from bit parts to recurring roles to main cast member status. He might not be a household name, but in the TV world, he's become a reliable and respected actor. Missick's shown he's got range. He's landed some notable roles, and he's managed to stay relevant in an industry that's always changing. He's done way more than just ride the GTA wave. He's used it as a springboard to build a solid, respectable career. Not too shabby for the guy who once voiced a Vance brother, right? Next, Mario DeLeon's journey after voicing Luis Lopez in Grand Theft Auto 4, The Ballad of Gay Tony. Mario DeLeon had his moment in the spotlight with GTA, but his career trajectory afterward took an interesting turn. Unlike some voice actors who use big game roles as a springboard, DeLeon seems to have gradually stepped away from the mainstream entertainment industry. After GTA, DeLeon did continue acting for a while. He had small roles in TV shows like Law & Order, Special Victims Unit, and Blue Bloods, and appeared in a few indie films. But these roles were sporadic and didn't really lead to bigger opportunities in the acting world. What's interesting is how DeLeon shifted his focus. He's become much more involved in the fitness world, particularly in martial arts and personal training. This isn't uncommon in the entertainment industry. Many actors find second careers in fitness, using their public profile to build a following. DeLeon's social media presence nowadays is mostly focused on fitness content, sharing workout routines, and promoting a healthy lifestyle. It's a complete 180 from his days of voicing a party-loving criminal protagonist in GTA. This career shift might explain why Rockstar chose him for Luis Lopez in the first place. They often pick actors who aren't huge names for their protagonist roles. This allows the character to feel fresh and unassociated with other famous roles. DeLeon, being a relatively low-profile actor at the time, fit this bill perfectly. As for his current absence from the entertainment scene, it could be a personal choice. The acting world is notoriously unstable, and many actors decide to pursue more stable careers. DeLeon's move into fitness could be seen as a way to have more control over his career and lifestyle. If we're grading DeLeon's post-GTA career, it's a bit tricky. In terms of acting, we'd probably be looking at a D or E, given his limited presence in film and TV. However, if we consider his pivot to fitness as a career move, we might bump that up to a C. He's managed to build a new career and maintain a public presence, just in a different industry. Next, Scott Hill, the voice behind Johnny. Scott Hill is like the Bigfoot of the GTA voice acting world. There are rumors, but concrete information is harder to find than a peaceful day in Los Santos. What we do know is that he voiced and did the motion capture for Johnny Klebitz, the rough-and-tumble biker with a heart of, well, slightly less corroded metal. After his stint as Johnny, Hill pretty much vanished from the public eye. It's like he took a page out of the Witness Protection Program playbook The only solid piece of info we have is that he worked as an art director on a movie. Talk about a career switcheroo, right? Now, your theory about Hill being involved in GTA 4's development is interesting. It wouldn't be the first time a game company said, "Hey, you person already working here, want to be in our game?" It's not uncommon for developers to use in-house talent for voice roles, especially for characters that aren't meant to be showstoppers. If that's the case, it would explain why information about Hill is scarcer than a law-abiding citizen in a GTA game. He might not have been a professional voice actor, just a rockstar employee who got tapped for the role. And if he was already working behind the scenes, it makes sense that he'd go back to that after his brush with voice acting fame. The fact that he ended up as an art director later on supports this theory. It suggests he's got skills in the visual arts side of production, which aligns more with game development than voice acting. As for grading his post-GTA career, man, that's like trying to grade a stealth mission. We just don't have enough intel. If we're strictly looking at his voice acting career, we'd have to give it an E because it seems non-existent. But if we consider his possible, continued work in game or film production, it could be anywhere from a C to an A. We just don't know. In the end, Scott Hill remains one of GTA's biggest mysteries. He came, he saw, he voiced a badass biker, and then he rode off into the sunset of anonymity. And you know what? In a world where everyone's fighting for their 15 minutes of fame, there's something kinda cool about that. We are done with the protagonists, so why don't we try some other major characters? Now, let's talk about Clifton Powell, the man who brought the iconic Big Smoke to life in Grand Theft Auto: San Andreas. This dude's career is actually pretty interesting, both before and after his stint in Los Santos. Before GTA, Powell was already an established character actor in Hollywood. He'd been in the game since the late 80s, appearing in films like Menace to Society, Deep Rising, and Rush Hour. He wasn't a household name, but he was definitely putting in work and building a solid reputation. His role as Big Smoke in 2004 didn't exactly catapult him to superstardom, but it didn't hurt either. After San Andreas, Powell kept on grinding, doing what he does best: character acting. He continued to land roles in both movies and TV shows, showing up in everything from Army Wives to Norbit. One of his more notable post-GTA roles was in the critically acclaimed film Ray, where he played Jeff Brown alongside Jamie Foxx. He also had recurring roles in TV series like Army Wives and Saints and Sinners. What's impressive about Powell is his consistency. He's been steadily working in the industry for decades, before and after GTA. He's that guy you see pop up in a movie or TV show and go, "Oh yeah, I know that dude." As for grading his post-GTA career, I'd give Powell a solid B. He hasn't become a massive star, but he's maintained a respectable career in a tough industry. He's consistently landed roles in both film and television, some of them quite notable. Plus, he's diversified by doing voice work for video games and animated series. The fact that he was already an established actor before GTA means the game didn't define his career. Instead, it became another notable credit in a long list of roles. Powell's managed to avoid being typecast by his GTA role, which is a win in itself. Overall, Clifton Powell's career, both before and after GTA, showcases the value of being a reliable, versatile character actor in Hollywood. He might not be headlining blockbusters, but he's built a career that many actors would envy. And hey, being remembered as Big Smoke isn't a bad legacy to have in the gaming world, right? Next, Slinky Johnson, the man who brought Lamar Davis to life in Grand Theft Auto 5. This dude's career has been on an interesting trajectory since he roasted Franklin with that famous "yee ass haircut" line. Before GTA 5, Johnson was grinding in the industry, picking up small roles here and there, but voicing Lamar in one of the biggest games of all time? That definitely put him on the map. Since GTA 5 dropped in 2013, Johnson's been making moves. He's leveraged his GTA fame pretty well, showing up at gaming conventions and embracing his role as Lamar. But he hasn't just rested on his GTA laurels. Johnson's landed roles in some notable TV shows. He had a recurring role in the Netflix series On My Block, playing Latrell. He also appeared in Snowfall, the critically acclaimed FX drama about the crack epidemic in 80s Los Angeles. In the film world, he's been in movies like Compton and The Disaster Artist. These might not be leading roles, but they're in high-profile projects that keep him in the public eye. What's cool about Johnson is how he's balanced his GTA fame with building a broader acting career. He's not shy about his connection to Lamar. He's even recreated some of his famous scenes for fans. But he's also pushed beyond that role. If we're handing out grades, I'd give Slinky Johnson's post-GTA career a solid B+. He's consistently working, landing roles in respected TV shows and films, and he's smart about using his GTA fame to boost his profile. He might not be a household name, but he's built a respectable career in a tough industry. Johnson's trajectory shows how voice acting in a massive game like GTA can open doors, if you know how to walk through them. He's taken that opportunity and run with it, building a diverse portfolio that goes beyond just being the GTA guy. And we are done for today. I didn't include Huang Li or Claude because you know their actors are too superior to talk or to even exist. Anyways, subscribe to the channel in case you are not already. I'll see you next time. Till then, take care and have a nice day.